After 3 years, I have an update for everybody on downtown Port St. Lucie. And here is the news for you. Port St. Lucie now has a professional soccer team. That's right, Port St. Lucie in the USL, which is a notch under the MLS, have come to an agreement in professional soccer will be right here in Port St. Lucie. It will be the Port St. Lucie SC. They plan on starting to play in 2027. And here's the even bigger news. They're building a 6,000 seat stadium at Walton One. That is the site for what we've been calling downtown Port St. Lucie. Here is the significance of this. Port St. Lucie has been looking for a way to get an anchor tenant into this space so they can build it out. And they've been thinking about this and they have the plans and it's taken them a while. But again, now building will begin. Stay with me here, guys, because I am going to show you the direct document that they have released with the particulars of how this came about, what's going to happen, and some time frames. My name is Jonathan B.J. Hayes, local realtor here in beautiful Port St. Lucie, Florida. Thank you for returning back to the home of Port St. Lucie Real Estate. As always, make sure you subscribe to the channel, share the videos, like the videos, and tell a friend about the wonderful things going on here in beautiful Port St. Lucie, Florida. Anybody out there who's looking to sell or buy a home here in Port St. Lucie, all my information is in the description below. So what we're going to do, guys, here, I'm going to share this document with you, read through it, walk you through it, and then after that, we'll talk a little bit of what the thoughts are with the reason Port St. Lucie did this and where they go forward from this. Let's get it. Professional soccer is here, guys. So here we go. Walton One, USL, Port St. Lucie Sports Club. Soccer stadium at Walton One. And this professional soccer stadium is set to anchor and ignite the development of Walton One, envisioned as a key cultural and entertainment hub in Port St. Lucie. The Walton One master plan includes a mix of residential, retail, office, hotel, and entertainment spaces, ensuring no single developer controls the entire site. With the city now owning a majority of the parcels in Walton One, and market analysis showing demand, the timing is ideal for the stadium to kickstart Walton One's development. So here are the key points. No taxpayer money from the city's general fund will be used for this project. The developer will be required to post a construction bond to ensure construction completion. The city is not guaranteeing payment of any of the developer's debt. The city is not investing any upfront capital into the project other than granting use of the land. What is the CRA's role in this agreement? Walton One is located in a community redevelopment area, CRA. Tax increment revenue, TIF, is a reinvestment tool used to revitalize CRAs without raising taxes or using taxpayer dollars. When a CRA is established, the then current property tax value is frozen as the base. Each year, as values increase and the difference between the new taxable value and the base value is the tax increment. The money can only be reinvested into the CRA to fund improvements, creating a cycle of revitalization, one of the city's strategic goals. The strategy allows new economic development to pay for itself, incentivizing development without impacting general fund dollars or assessing new taxes on property owners. The Ebenezer will fund the construction of the stadium and install all necessary infrastructure to support the stadium. The city CRA and Ebenezer will enter into an agreement with a 50-year initial term and a 25-year renewal option. Ebenezer will be eligible for reimbursement of up to 50% of the stadium and infrastructure costs, not to exceed $27.5 million paid by the CRA via TIF revenue, not taxpayer dollars. This equates to an annual reimbursement of $1,375,000 of TIF funding over 20 years, commencing the year following the issuance of a certificate of occupancy for the stadium. So here's some quick facts, guys. In late 2023, an economic development project was brought to the city of Port St. Lucie for consideration within Walton One. The United Soccer League, the USL League One team franchise, will be coming to Port St. Lucie for men's and women's leagues. The men's team, which will be called the Port St. Lucie Sports Club, is expected to begin playing in 2027, with the women's team to follow. The franchise agreement is between the USL and the development group. Just under 6 acres within Walton One has been identified for a 6,000-seat stadium site. The stadium will have the potential for future expansion with league demands. Here's what that means. The USL League One, that is second tier of USL. Promotion means you would go to the championship. After that, the next step here in the US is really the MLS. Now, MLS, yes, that's Inter Miami. That's where Messi is, all the big names. Usually when MLS expands, a lot of time they will look directly to the USL. So let's say if that were to happen, the stadium will have the ability to be expanded. All right. The city also was granted use of the stadium 24 days a year. So 24 times a year, the city can hold events inside the stadium. So think of this. Think of somebody like, let's use my favorite group, Drew Hill, who was very big in the 90s. They could have a concert and have Drew Hill there. 6,000 people venue. Things of that nature, that's where they're thinking. Okay. In additional plans for sports training complexes are being considered for the team, but it's going to be outside of Walton One. So they told me they wanted to make sure people knew, yes, there will be training facilities built. They will be building training facilities, but they will not be on this site. They are only getting 6 acres to build this stadium, and that's it. Okay. The development group consists of multiple entities owned by the Ebenezer Holdings, LLC, Ebenezer Management, LLC, coupled with partnerships in construction and operations with the McCullers Group and Labella. So there you have it, guys. That's all the information I have right here, right now. I can only tell you the city now has their anchor. Now their thoughts go towards hotels. So I'm being told the next big play is going to be securing a hotel that probably has between 200 to 250 rooms. That's where their sites are going next. I was also told that there's a number of builders, retail, hospitality, that type of thing, that is very interested in getting into this site. So we'll see how things progress. If you have any questions, all my information is in the description below. Feel free to call or text me directly, and we can talk about this. So now that Port St. Lucie has their tenant starting in 2027, we anticipate a lot of things to happen. So number one, 2027 is only 2 years from now. So we anticipate construction happening here very, very, very shortly on this 6,000-seat stadium. Once that's happened, I have been told by officials, the number one priority is securing a hotel. Most likely, it's going to be a hotel that's going to have like 200 rooms. Once we have that, there's going to be other things that come along with that. The shops, the restaurants, the boutiques, the condos, the living, everything. But this stadium is the one thing, the one anchor tenant they needed to kick all of this off. And I know there's many of you out there who are thinking, here we go again. Here we go with promises, all the above. And I'm right there with you. But I will say this, the first milestone will be when we drive up US 1 and you actually see dirt being moved. Once we can see dirt being moved, progress is being made. The other thing I want to say is the city didn't want to give up all of their leverage in this. They really want somebody to come in and develop this area, but they don't want to give them all of the keys to do so. So they've really taken their time and thought out what is the best use of our money here in the city. So what I'll say to everybody is there's going to be pieces to this. So this isn't something that's going to be completed in, 2 or 3 years and we're going to have this huge downtown area, which they're calling Walton One. It's going to come together in intricate pieces. And now they have their anchor to kick this whole thing off. If anybody has any questions about this, give me a call, text me. All my information is in the description below and on the screen. We can discuss this. The other thing that I am going to do and shared with officials that they need to do is any form of updates, they need to keep us posted. When they sign a deal to, hey, we're going to build a condo, or hey, a retail shop has agreed to come in, we need to know and they need to keep us up to date. I think they all realize that everybody here loves our city. We love everything about Port St. Lucie, but there is a big void, and that big void is entertainment. And when I say entertainment for people under the age of 55. And hopefully we finally are on our way to capturing downtown Port St. Lucie. Everybody, till we meet again, stay safe, be blessed.